So, you want to know what's coming? All right, I'm going to do a little bit of a video blog or a vlog for some of you, and you're telling me that you kind of like this about what's to come, what we're going through, what to expect, how long. I give you a little heads up on what's going to happen. Go get your tea, grab your coffee. Maggie and I just made a cup of tea, and she is moved around, got comfortable, and we are getting ready to dive in and let you guys know what I feel intuitively. All right. This video is not sponsored by Harley Davidson, but if they are watching, I wear a size fat boy. All right. May as well throw a shameless plug in there. Who knows? You know what? We have to at least aim, right? So what is going to happen? What is brewing? Well, let me tell you, if the last week's worth of energy since Helene has happened hasn't been hard enough and dense enough, I know you guys have been telling me that you have been feeling it and that the change is going on energetically. Right now, as I record this, I just got a message from some of my Florida followers from Florida. They are experiencing the next hurricane. It's already come in. I don't know if it's still called, if it's a tropical storm yet. I haven't watched the news. I'm trying to stay away from that negativity, but I do need to keep on top of what's happening. But let's send some prayers out to Florida right now. Thank you, Spirit on the Light. We're just going to take just a couple seconds right now and just send some positive vibes and love, really. With just that, we might be able to kind of lessen the blow of this tornado or this hurricane, because the predictions I saw, it was supposed to be worse. Okay, let's just take a couple seconds here. All right, that's all it takes, trust me. Let me relay a little story for you. I had a friend that was in very bad shape, and he was in the hospital. And this is a fella I rode motorcycle with, and I knew him for a lot of years. We rode side by side a lot of times. And he had gotten real sick, and they didn't know what it was at first. And he had gotten really, really bad, and he was on life support. And his wife put in Facebook, made a post that, Larry's made a turn for the worse. Can you guys want to join and get some prayer going? And I read that and I thought, wow, my friend Larry. Took a couple seconds, that's all it took. A couple days later, he took another turn for the worse again, and then again she called for prayer. I did the same thing again. Standing at my sink doing my dishes. Took a deep breath, focus, and you send love and prayer. That's all you got to do. It doesn't have to be an elaborate incantation and prayer. It's when your heart. It's what's in your heart. It's what's in your head, and that's how you send love. That's all it is. That's all you need. Anyway, when Larry got out of the hospital, thank you, Spirit, his wife called me and asked if I could, Larry would like to see you. And I thought, well, sure, I'll go visit. He said, Tina, there's something I want to tell you. He said, I saw you when I was in my coma. And when he was in the coma, that's when he was at his worst. And that's when I took the time to pray. And so did others. He said, I saw you in your white Native American buckskins, and I I've outgrown it, a white buckskin Native American regalia. And anyway, he saw me in his dream and in his coma in that white buckskin outfit, and I laid my hand out and led him out of the woods and into the light. You and I both know that prayers are heard, and we never get validation like that, though. We don't hear back now. My prayer wasn't any more special than anybody else's. I guarantee it. Everybody needs to pray. At that split second is when he connected to me, and I connected to him. So prayer is very, very powerful. We are getting into an absolute, if you didn't think this last week was bad enough, starting October the 9th, it is going to get so dense you can cut it with a knife. I mean, shit is really going to just feel wonky and bad. And there's another hurricane brewing, so we're going to have more of that same kind of aftermath and energy, digging through, helping people retrieve stuff. With our prayer, Florida won't be devastated as bad, okay? We're going to keep that positive thought. Mars is going into opposition to Pluto, okay? And that's now they don't actually make the bad energy. They only map it and track it for us so that we can see what it is. They don't, Mercury, when Mercury goes retrograde, it's at a period of time when, wiring gets affected, and that's kind of a little different thing, but they do not cause it. They just map it out for us so that we can, God really made a grand plan when he allowed us to, or when he aligned things, when he aligned things so that we could kind of see and track it, really. He put all the stars in the right place and the planets in the right, it was God's hand, right? Venus is also going to oppose Uranus. We know Mars and Pluto are, Mars is anger, Pluto is war. Be careful for road rage. When people are scared, they lash out. So don't get caught up in a cat and mouse game on the freeway with somebody. Let them go. Okay, do what you have to do, and don't get in a confrontation with anybody. There are a lot of people carrying sidearms now. They're carrying pew-pews just to appease the YouTube gods. I can't say it, but there's other guys that can get those big thunder sticks out and do whole videos with them. But if I mention it, I get shadow banned. But more and more people are carrying, and you just need to be cautious of that. It's a different world too, okay? That's going to continue until the full moon, and I do believe the full moon isn't until like the 17th, maybe. I'd have to look that up. Let's do that as we talk. All right. Google, when is the next full moon? Okay, it is the 17th. From the 9th to the 17th, it is really, really going to be dense. Now, that full moon will bring a lot of things to light, and it will expose a lot of things, and that's what this whole thing is meant to do right now. It is to help expose corruption in charities also. Now, as I bring that up, be careful who you donate to. Some charities, that one that is famous for the big pink ribbon, only 15% of your money makes it to those people that need it. It's all used for CEOs, administrative fees, all that stuff. If you are going to donate, mercury1.org is 100% of it goes to those in need, because there are people that are actually donating their helicopters. You know, there's guys, there's combat veterans out there flying those helicopters, and Mercury One is helping them fund that. The other one is Samaritan's Purse. 100% of the proceeds go to the victims. Volunteers are out there manning those food distribution centers in the South right now, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia. They are out there helping. So those are the two organizations that I say are probably the best ones to get money into them. People in need. You guys know that they moved Helene, that storm, where they wanted it, right? You guys know they moved that storm where they wanted it, right? It is absolutely, and it's not that big a scientific feat for them to energetically move that storm. How in the blazes did it come down off the Atlantic Ocean, around Florida, all the way back up in the Gulf Coast, and into North Carolina? It had some guidance. If you want to know more about that, there is a YouTube channel called Into Thin Air. That's the channel name. If you go over there, you will find how they give a nice documentary on how they manipulated the weather and moved Hurricane Helene the way they did. They are now saying, and now you guys have to check, be your own fact checkers on this and do your own research. And I'm just throwing this out there as conjecture, okay? Because if I say it's fact and their fact checkers aren't, I don't know if they speak English sometimes, honest to Pete. Anyway, if you go over there to YouTube, you will find the channel In the Thin Air, and you can see how they do manipulate weather, how they can move it. They have found, quite possibly, now that half of that mountain's washed away, that's one of the highest deposits of lithium in the world. We all thought it was China because that's where they have that slave labor, and they're down in those big pits and they're digging lithium to make batteries for cars and cell phones, and nope, we got some right here. Funny how that storm just almost like Hawaii and Lahaina. There are psychopaths that run this planet. Not all of them are bad. Some are good, some are pure, some have the right. But the ones in the highest levels that literally run the planet are not. One family goes back as far as, oh my gosh, right after, I don't even want to say. I'm not sure what era they came into, but they go way back. The Rothschild family. And we've heard of the Rothschilds as being one of the, just being rich and wealthy. And we hear about their philanthropy. We hear about all the good things that they do, you know. They help us, don't they? Conjecture is, rumor may have it. Nah, well, some of us no different, but I want you guys to research this and check it yourself. That they worship the devil. That the people that have the biggest influence on our globe, that control it, that own those big corporations like something about black and something about rock, okay? I don't want to put it together. You guys follow me, right? Most of that is satanic. Black and Rock, Vanguard, Bank of America. Okay. And the fact that we have celebrities finally facing some, I don't want to call it justice because they haven't been tried or convicted yet, but at least they're being exposed for that kind of sin. And it's I'll guarantee you that when they release those videos from P. Diddy, okay, I'll say that at least, you will see that there is some link to satanic worship in there. As a psychic and in my missing persons work, a lot of that links back to the people in the White House. I'm not going to say any more about that. But my work with human trafficking and following it and learning, studying it and understanding it goes to the same house. That kid in the White House that had that laptop, he kind of hung out with old Epstein over there on the island, right? So that's that. Let's see. Pluto is also going to start pushing around a lot of people, actually, and he's going to help bring a lot of stuff to the surface, and we're going to see a lot more of that information come out. Now they're trying to crucify Garth Brooks. I haven't even dialed in on that yet at all myself psychically. I don't know what the hell's going on with poor Garth Brooks, but evidently he's under some kind of scrutiny right now. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is we're about not quite a month out now from the election. That election may not even happen. We could be in so much turmoil that they may have to postpone it. Or the inauguration may not happen. Something to do with this election is not going to take place. A lot of it is not going to take place the way it has in the past. Psychically, myself and a few others that I work with, and we talk about this stuff and compare notes once in a while. it's not going to be a fair election. And there will be squabbles over it. One side or the other is going to, and right now, the way we're feeling this is that she, the chameleon, is going to be awarded that seat and not get it in an honest, fair fashion. I got to tell you, either way, whether she wins the election, if it happens, or Trump wins it, if it happens, the other side, we have become so divided that the other side, either way, is going to retaliate, and we are going to have you're going to see the rioting and the marauding take place. There's a high possibility at some point they're going to throw martial law in. And we have been under martial law before. I believe it happened in the 70s, and they kept martial law for about 2 years, maybe. We'll have to research that. If any of you research that, let me know down below in the comments. So the election may not actually happen, and we may have martial law. We may have to stay inside. Have any of you seen the video on the World Trade Centers? The most recent evidence that they have on that? That'll break your heart. According to the video and the new evidence, those buildings did not collapse because the planes burning and weakening the building. Now that's what we were taught and told, and that's what we thought. In the videos that they have now, you can see every floor detonate. You can see bam, bam. You can see it. Go over to Google and see if you can find those videos while they're still up. Somebody had to have infiltrated those buildings and placed detonation charges on every floor, or every 2 floors. I'm not real sure, but right after those planes hit the towers, some of the rescue crews down on the street said, "Get back, these buildings are going to collapse." How did they know that? How did they know that? So there is a lot more that has been hidden from us than what we realize. A lot that has not been brought to the surface. When I took a look at that video as a psychic and turned my little radar on, I wept. I wept to know that those people died I don't want to say in vain, but possibly by our own hands. Did we allow somebody to infiltrate those buildings? The reason I'm bringing that up is we have people coming across the border that have already infiltrated us. Now, I don't know. Yes or no, either way, if anybody has done anything like that. But a lot of us that do this type of work are seeing another 9/11 type event coming. The economy over the next 6 months. Wow. Don't buy any, don't do anything drastic financially. Our economy literally is going to collapse. This is going to be worse than a depression, but they want it to, though, because they want to bring in that world currency. And how do we, if you've got, I don't know how they're going to take that money from us and convert it. Are they going to take it from us? Are we going to relinquish it? Another thing that we could be relinquishing is, if you happen to get your hands on a FEMA handbook, it kind of tells you about what to do in emergencies and yada yada. They mention in there, right in the handbook, that FEMA has the right to come in and confiscate some of your supplies. So when I did that, made a post on Facebook, and I just said yes or no, are some of you prepared? Are some of you ready? Now, some of you went in a little bit of detail and told me what you had and what you're doing. And some of you flat out said no. And as a psychic, I know some of you, it's a strategy with preppers. You do not tell anybody that you don't trust outside your house what you have stockpiled, because people will come knocking on your doors because they didn't prepare. That's a tough decision to make, because we are to be kind, we are to be loving and sharing, but we need to provide for ourselves and take care of ourselves. So do not tell anybody what you have put away as a prepper. In another video, I'll walk you guys through the day in the life of, let's just say the lights go out, and how to go about it. From starting the coffee in the morning to washing up at night, I'm going to kind of walk you through that, how to conserve water, how to kind of relax and enjoy the experience too. Like I keep referring to it as, you know what, some of you guys are campers, you'll be okay. You've got the equipment. So yeah, the next 6 months financially is going to get pretty tough. If you can continue to stock up a little bit, pick up that extra can of beans, put it on the shelf. Please don't hoard. If you have a big family, you know what? I took an Amish lady about a year ago. I don't do much of that anymore. But I took her to the store, and she had 12 kids. One package of toilet paper was not going to work for her for a month with 12 kids. So she had quite a few packages of toilet paper in her cart. And this was a year ago, and there weren't, we were out of quarantine, everything's good, the toilet paper issue was over. But do you know she actually had people bother her about that because they thought she was taking more than what she should? So don't do that. Last time they wanted us to, when we went into quarantine, they wanted us to squeal on each other about who was having parties, remember? And oh, by the way, that guy that's running for the vice presidency, he was one of those people that wanted us to squeal on each other. Think about your choices here. But if we go under martial law at some point, it's going to be the same. We're going to be, you'll be able to get around, you'll be able to go to work, but there's going to be certain things you're not going to be able to do. Like a quarantine kind of thing. So we just want to be stocked for that. The biggest thing is, and I don't want to scare you guys by any means, because fearful people do not think logically. And I warned you about road rage earlier because people are going to be in fear. It's not going to be a big thing unless you make it a big thing. We got this. United we stand. Don't let them divide you anymore. Please put politics out of the picture. This is not a red side, blue side. Honey, if we don't pay attention, it's going to be payment overdue side. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Don't worry about those political parties. It's nice to support your country. I'm as patriotic as it gets, but right now, this isn't patriotism as it should be. So with that, I'm going to close. Anything here? Let me look at my notes here to go over anything to see if I touched on anything. Yep, the economy is going to go to shit for about 6 months. We hit that. Martial law possibility there. Or they may just bring another bug out to quarantine us without calling it martial law, okay? So they have ways around it. We talked about Mars and Pluto going into opposition, Venus and Uranus going into opposition. There you have it. That's what's coming here in just the next few weeks. I said that sticky energy starts right here in the 9th, and that's coming up here in just 3 days. So, well, maybe by the time I post this. There you have it, you guys. In a nutshell, I'm ready. I got my thunder stick. I got cans of beans. I'm good to go. I love you guys a lot. You mean a lot to me. Trust me. I wouldn't keep doing this. YouTube has not allowed me to gain in popularity enough to make money from this channel yet. It has all been out of my pocket. So if you would like to buy me a cup of coffee, my PayPal link is down below in the description box. And I want you to know that I never leave you, that I don't sincerely bless you with love and light. See you soon.